had some time to digest everything. I first want to just ask you again about Sunday. You know, this team could have packed it all in and just been done with the season the way things have nothing really on the line for your group, but they went out and performed in the performance they gave Sunday to pull out that victory. What does it say about the growth of this team from September to that point in that final game?
I think there's always something to play for. There's opportunity. We're blessed to be a part of this organization, and there's pride and there's team, and we found enough to find motivation for really a last stretch. And we weren't perfect at it, but to be able to have everything come together like that at the last game. Of course, Thomas was excellent. The way that we lost players within the game, but the guys were really gritty to be able to come together and find a result in the end.
How have you seen this team grow throughout the season? Now that you get a chance, it's still kind of fresh here. We just got back from Coachella Valley last night, but from September, even just from rookie camp, when you saw a lot of these young guys and the 11 fresh faces into professional hockey during the course of the year to this point now in exit meetings, where has this team and how has this team kind of grown?
It's fun when you sit and you talk to all the individuals today. You're going through their stories of their season, and the underlying tone for so many of our young players is growth. And whether that growth is at a rapid pace or, still needs to be prodded to go find a little bit more speed, there's an underlying theme that our kids are growing and getting better. And I think the same applies to team. There was a point early in the season where we couldn't find a way to win for 13 games in a row. And, to be able to do what we did to scratch and claw our way back to getting to 500, and unfortunately it wasn't sustainable for us, but we were in a lot of games. I think we had something like 24 one-goal losses or something like that, and if half of those turn around or we become a better overtime team, we're talking about percentages now to be able to turn this thing around, and we're proud of the growth we made. 20-point difference from last year to this year, it's a big deal, and we certainly still haven't reached the standard that we want, but there's a lot of growth coming.
For Matt McIlvane as a head coach, what did you learn yourself? Your first professional year here in the American Hockey League and getting through an AHL season that can certainly be a grind, I'm sure. What did you learn about yourself and what you want to apply to next season?
So much. I think that growth is a theme for me as well. When it's your first time coaching in any league, first time in a new city, first time with a new group, first time with this coaching staff, there's first time coaching as a member of the Anaheim Ducks organization. There's just so much new, and you're absorbing things, time after time. You couple that with a 13-game losing streak at the start of the season, and it's like sometimes you feel like you're drinking through a fire hose. But the reality is that through that comes strength, and through it comes calm, and through it, you find yourself the way that you want to coach the team. And I am 100% certain that I'll be a better coach in year 2 than I was in year 1. There's lessons that I took in from this season that I'll carry with me for my whole life, and I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity that these guys have provided me.
Hindsight's 20/20, but is there anything you would change during this season if you could go back and change anything? Would there be anything?
Tons. I think when you look back, from the perspective of 2020 vision, looking backwards, you'd make so many changes, little tweaks of who's on the ice at certain times, little tweaks of maybe little adjustments within games, maybe tone of practice for certain days, intensity for days, because you have the benefit of knowing what the result is. So if you don't make changes, you're not doing it right. But I think that in that comes the lessons, and the lessons that you can use for the future is the important part that you carry from year to year, and those are things that I absolutely will carry forward.
What needs to happen this offseason? I mean, you just talked to everybody, but what needs to happen this offseason from your group? You got a lot of guys coming back for this team to improve and take that next stride forward in next season.
I think the big thing is that understanding perspective and our tasks are a big thing. And our number one task is that we get players ready to go contribute to the Anaheim Ducks. And, being able to have some guys get called up this year and do well, have guys that get called up and stay, that's certainly part of our job. And then, of course, comes the duty of winning and losing. And there's plenty that we can look at internally, that we can adjust. Becoming a closer knit group, some coaching elements of, when to be hard, maybe when not to. I think that there's plenty that we can learn and improve. But, the big thing is that we made steps. And the important thing is that we've seen success. We have issues sustaining our play over time. And that learning that discipline has been a challenge for our team. So being able to go into, for a lot of guys now, their next year, including the head coach, into your next year, you're already way ahead. And, that coupled with all the lessons we've been learning, I think we're set up to be better.